Hello, hello. Om Shahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahai Tejasvina Vadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai Om ঠাকুর মা স্বামীজি এবং পূজ্যপাদ শ্রীমৎ স্বামী রঙ্গনাথানন্দজি মহারাজের শ্রীচরণে আমার ভক্তিপূর্ণ আভলুণ্ঠিত প্রণাম নিবেদন করব। আজকে স্মারক বক্তৃতার বিষয় হচ্ছে মহারাজের জীবন। তো Swami Ranganathananda Maharaj, he was born on 15th of December, and this year that holy day was mother's birthday. So today we are conducting the memorial lecture of revered Maharaj. One of the unique features of Ramakrishna Math and mission is that they trace their origin to the avatar of the present age, Sri Ramakrishna. The avatar comes to revitalize religion and show a new path suited to the times. His powers and message are preserved by an unbroken Guru Parampara or the succession of teachers. This is the holy tradition that sustains the succession of presidents of Ramakrishna Math and Mission. Revered Maharaj was the 13th link in the unbroken chain of the president of twin institutions. Shankaran, who was Shankara, who was later to become the 13th president of the Ramakrishna Sangha, saw the light of day on 15 December 1908 in Trikur, a quiet village near Trichur in Kerala, on the bank of river Manalipuja. The day also happened to be the Holy Mother's birthday that year. So we have seen that that day means mother's birthday fall on that day. So on that holy year of 1908, mother's birthday only fell in that year only. His parents, Nilakantha Sastri and Lakshmi Kutti Amma, who were quite well off with their substantial agriculture income, fondly called Shankara their second son, Kochappan. Nilakantha Shastri was a pious Brahmin, and his mother was also a pious and woman of strong character who exerted much influence on Shankara. During his boyhood, Shankara accompanied his mother nearby Shiva temple. The kid loved to pick flowers and collect bilva patra or the bilva leaves for his mother's worship. He once said that a young boy who had a vivid dream that a bright light came out from the Shiva temple near his house and engulfed him. He was growing up as he did on the bank of river Ganga. He was a good swimmer. Later, when at Belur he used to spend a lot of time in the Ganga. Mahapurush Maharaj, Swami Shivanandaji, noticed this once and said, "Tell this fellow, this is not Kerala. He will catch a cold if he stays too long in the water." So Maharaj was very fond of swimming, and in that time when he was in Belur he also did that same work. So Shivanandaji Maharaj, Mahapurush Maharaj, over there when he used to means go through that all the places. He used to see that young uh, man, young brahmachari, and he used to ask him to not to and remind him that this is not the Kerala, this is Ganga, and he might feel cold if he means stays near that too, means lot of time. Water sports seems to fascinate him throughout his life. Once during his Karachi days, while going by boat with several companions, he jumped into the Sindhu river and disappeared. His companions heaved a sign of relief only when, after some time, he surfaced and back swam to the boat. He repeated this feat a few years in USA, the Lake Tawai, a deep lake with temperatures near freezing point. So we can see that not only in India, Maharaj also continue his water sports at the Lake of USA also. Sankar completed his high school education in the neighboring village of Ullur. During these days, Maharaj said that he was born and bred in a village environment. He somehow succeeded in cultivating a broad outlook in life. He broke rules of untouchability and caste superiority and did not hesitate to eat fruits from the hands of Parihar tenant couple. Later, when Sankar left his home, this couple wept. So we can see from the life that he also broke the rules of untouchability and the caste superiority, and from the hands of means low caste he used to take the food, and when he left his home, that couple used to cry for him, wept for him. From the beginning of the life, we can see that the good values are being there in the life of Maharaj. He used to he means if he belongs to a very pious family, Brahmin family. They used to do the puja and everything. So he also engrossed in everything, like all the direct disciple of Sri Ramakrishna. We see the life of Swami Ranganathananda Maharaj as the same. There is no something different from all the lives, because from the beginning we have seen in other disciples that they were in good in studies, they were means very religious, and also they did some means activities that is good for the society. In the life of Swami Vivekananda, I would remind one incident that he used to take that hook that pipe. So all his fathers used to take the pipes. So Swami Vivek and in his father's Vishwanath Datta's in one room, there's a line of pipe was there. So different pipes for different caste. So once Swamiji took all the pipes and started testing. When his father asked for this action, he told that I am checking, I am testing that if I take other caste pipe, then what would happen? And this broke that system in that house. So also you can see the same activity in the life of revered Maharaj also, that he is breaking the rule that the untouchability or the caste superiority rule. He makes this interesting comment about himself. Though born and brought up in Kerala, my feelings of identification was never confined to that one state but become national and international. Whichever state I visit for a lecture program, I felt I belonged to that state. The same feeling I had in the international sphere also. For nearly 15 years, I have gone every year to countries like Holland, Germany, USA, Australia, Singapore, and Singapore. And the people, they are also treated me like belonging to them. The one parting sentence after a program in any town or city was, "Please come again." Revered Maharaj was a very good speaker, we know. In the social media also, there are many lectures that were recorded in that time and present. He was a very good speaker, so every time he used to visit for a lecture in different places, one phrase was used to hear, that "Please come again." That is a blessing coming to a representative of Amar Bharat, the eternal India. Once he was 10 years old, his mother fell ill, and his mother fell ill, uh, and uh, and medicine had to be procured from an Ayurvedic doctor, living a mile away from the on the other bank of river. It was raining heavily. The family cook was agreed to go by boat if if one of the older boys in the family went to him. Shankar volunteered for two reasons, as he clarified: love for his mother and love for love of adventure. First of all, he gave two reasons for why he went in that heavy rainy when heavy rains was there. He told that one was for my mother's love and love of his mother, and secondly for the love of adventure. He was very fond of adventure. We have seen the water sports activity in the story of that. He told the two reasons, and he said that it was play fun for him to row the boat. This love of adventure and dislike for an easy life, or as the German philosopher expressed in his dictum, "live dangerously," had been a trait from his boyhood. So, one German philosopher told that live dangerously, and Maharaj also took that thing from his boyhood life only. We can see this. After reading a few years passed after the first reading of of Sri Ramakrishna, Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, Sri Ramakrishna Kathamrita, Shankar developed a great love and respect for the author of Kathamrita, Sri Mahendranath Gupta. When he came for Brahmacharya Diksha at Belur Math in 1929, he also met Sri Ma, paid his loving respect to him, and he also visited his residence in the company of other sadhus. They spent about 3 hours with Sri Ma, who Maharaj remembered spoke only about Sri Ramakrishna. We know because we know that Sri Ma was the writer of Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, and every time he used to meet with somebody, he used to talk about only the tattva. In the Sri Ma Katha, Sri Ma Darshan, we can find all these things, that he used to only talk about Bhagavata, Gita, and Ramakrishna Kathamrita. In the Sri Ma Darshan or Sri Ma Katha, we can find this in these two books. And Maharaj also remembered that he only spoke about Sri Ramakrishna because the sadhus were there. So the best ideal teacher is Jagat Guru Sri Ramakrishna. When Shankar was 12 or 13 years old, once in his mother's presence, he used some foul words against a person, some the slang words. His mother immediately told him, in a state of lovingly state, his mother told that, "My boy, your tongue is the abode of Vani or Saraswati, the goddess of knowledge or wisdom. Don't soil it by using foul language against others." The advice, he said, went straight to his head and heart. Little wonder then that the goddess manifested so tangibly through his blessed tongue over the 8 decades. His mother told that the tongue is the means the Saraswati, Mother Saraswati stays there. So you never utter a word, foul words against anyone. That thing over 8 decades that was there in the mind of revered Maharaj. It did not long for the urge to renounce for the sake of Sri Ramakrishna to the down to down in the heart of Shankar. He said about this later that was in 1924. I was only 15 and a half years old then, and was waiting for opportunity to join Ramakrishna order. He started feeling from the age of 15 to urge to know more about Sri Ramakrishna and to join the Ramakrishna order. In 1926, after finishing my school final examination, I joined I joined a typewriting institute at Thrissur to learn shorthand and typewriting. For some fee had to be paid. I took rupees 3 for home and came to Thrissur. From there, I wrote to Ramakrishna Math Madras that I wanted to join the order. A brahmachari replied that since there was no room in the Madras Math, then I should join the newly started ashram at Mysore. So first, Maharaj applied to Madras Math. So that time, in charge Brahmachari Maharaj told that there was no such rooms present for any newcomer. So he advised him. Maharaj advised him, Shankar, to means look up on different newly started ashram at Mysore. So he wrote to Gopal Maharaj, Swami Siddheswarananda ji, head of Mysore ashram. Fortunately, the Swami himself came to Thrissur on personal work. When Shankar told him his intention to join the order, he consented but queried whether the boy had the fare for the journey from Thrissur to Mysore via Uti. As stated earlier, Shankar had just 3 rupees with him. He also had gold earrings, uh, which was given to every boys in the Kerala in that time. He offered to sell this pair, but that day was a Sunday and all the shops were closed. But one person gave him 2 rupees, and Swami Siddheswarananda ji gave him more 2 rupees, and in all he was left with rupees 7. Since even this sum was not enough for the journey, he was greatly disturbed. To continue this with his narration, he told, I was very young then, only 17 and a half years old. I went to Sri Ramakrishna's shrine at Thrissur Vivekodhyam High School to pray for Thakur's grace. Now, Maharaj gone to Sri Ramakrishna's, under Sri Ramakrishna's feet. The song was there, Ramakrishna Bedi Tale Mora Miliachi Akapran. So he gone to Sri Ramakrishna, surrendered to Sri Ramakrishna. Often I used to bring flowers from my house for worship in the shrine, with tears in my eyes, prayed to Thakur for arranged renunciation and departure to Mysore with Swami Siddheswarananda Maharaj. All the direct disciples of Sri Ramakrishna have told that we need to pray to Sri Ramakrishna from our heart and with tears in our eyes. We can see this in the life of Swami Bigyanananda Ji Maharaj and Swami Shivananda Ji Maharaj also. And every Maharaj have told that we should pray to Sri Ramakrishna from our internal heart, because he stays here, and with tears in our eyes, real tears in our eyes. Maharaj also did that same. He prayed to Sri Ramakrishna, tears in his eyes, that please make me a way so that I can go to Mutt. And even now, after 70 years, Maharaj was talking about this in Belur Mutt in 1995, when he was vice president of the Sangha. The memory of this event in that shrine still steers me. Maharaj was telling that that memory was still means steers me. Undoubtedly, the voice tears moved Thakur. At 8:30 p.m. that day, Swami Siddheswaranandaji and Shankar got to the train and reached the Uti to the next train. It is stated that Sri Ramakrishna never ever let his children, let his disciples to means whosoever is going to take the surrender of him, he never ever returned him. He helped him in any ways, whether he means present over that situation or indirectly help, showing that he is the Antarjami, or he always means there in our heart. This we can find, and after so many years, when he was a vice president of the Sangha, that time also he used to means mention that story, and he used to still steers him that situation. So that day he went with Maharaj, Siddheswaranandaji Maharaj, and reached Uti. And the next morning, another milestone was reached at Uti. Mahapurush Maharaj, Swami Shivanandaji, was then staying there in the rented house. He rented house. The present Uti Mutt was being built. Shankar would have his breakfast in Mahapurush Maharaj's room, but he had to buy his own lunch and dinner outside. This continued for a week. On 30th June 1926, he got his mantra diksha from Mahapurush Maharaj, first mantra diksha. And this is what he said about his initiation. I entered into the room in which Mahapurush Maharaj, Swami Shivanandaji Maharaj, was sitting for the ceremony. To his left was my seat. I sat down and looked at the whole scene. A dream I had 3 or 4 years earlier became to my mind. I used to worship regularly Shiva in the village rock cave temple. In that dream, I was lifted high up in the sky. Then I reached a beautiful place. An old, venerable looking person was sitting there, and my mind recognized him as Shiva. And that day also, Shivanandaji Maharaj was only giving him the avatar of Shiva. So he was giving the mantra diksha. He asked me to sit in his lap and gave me spiritual instruction. That was the dream, and I found an exact reproduction of that dream in that room in Uti. Mahapurush Maharaj asked me, "Do you worship Sri Ramakrishna?" I said, "No, I do not actually worship, but I keep a picture of his and salute him, offer him pranams regularly." And he said, Mahapurush Maharaj said that this is all right. Then he gave me the mantra and asked me, "Have you brought any Guru Dakshina?" "Nothing," I said. "Only one shirt, one dhoti, and one towel. That was all I had brought from my house." He took 2 or 3 mangoes from his right side and gave to me and said, "Now you give them back to me as Guru Dakshina." So this is also one of the lila of Shivanandaji Maharaj, Mahapurush Maharaj. He asked to Maharaj, Ranganathananda Maharaj, Shankar that time, while the mantra diksha, that have you brought anything? So then Maharaj told that I have brought only one dhoti and kurta and one towel along with me. So Mahapurush Maharaj did one thing that he took a few mangoes from his side table and gave it to Shankara and asked him to return that same thing to him as the Guru Dakshina. I offered him back to him, made pranams to him, and came out of the room. A couple of days later, when the when a newly initiated disciple went to make pranams to his guru before leaving for Mysore, the only instruction that Mahapurush Maharaj gave him was Sarb Gopal, meaning Swami Siddheswaranandaji Maharaj. At his guru's behest, Shankar served the Swami at Mysore, later at Bangalore, for 9 years until Swami Siddheswaranandaji left India to start a new center in France. After for many years, he Maharaj means granted his guru's means the whatever his guru told to serve Maharaj, and he did that. Maharaj has some interesting things to say about his early days in Mysore. For the first time, I saw a big town with electric lights and all that. As a village boy, I did not know about town life. I did not know even how to post a letter, how to cash a check, etc. That 9 o'clock, for the first time in my life, I got a glass of milk, 2 pieces of bread for my supper from a boy who was living in the ashrama at who was living in the ashrama. I still remember the taste of my first meal of bread, milk, and that in Mysore ashram 70 years ago. That was on 2nd July 1926. On 3rd July, my long hair was cut and my earrings were removed. Thenceforth began a rigorous routine which continued for 6 years. Washing dishes, kitchen utensils, cooking, cooking and every the work, gardening, and everything that was to be done in the that after the brahmacharya was taken. So he used to do everything work. He remembered that he was always happy and cheerful and enjoyed doing any work at Thakur's service. Never experienced any fatigue. Uh, Wrestling seemed to be a popular sport with him. At Mysore and later at Belur too, he used to visit the akhadas for wrestling. He remembered Swami Apurvanandaji Maharaj, Mahapurush Maharaj's Sevak, was a good wrestler. Sometime volleyball too captured his imagination. So you can see from the Maharaj life that he was very good in at sports also. From the beginning, you can see that he was good in swimming. So this sports part also there in the life of Maharaj. On Buddha Purnima, 23rd May 1929, at Belur Math, Mahapurush Maharaj gave him the Brahmacharya vows and name Yati Chaitanya, and Maharaj spent about 4 months at Belur Math on this occasion. But for Swami Shuddhiranandaji's constant reminders to go back to Mysore, he would have continued to stay happily at Belur Math. He was assigned various tasks during this sojourn: sweeping the spacious front courtyard of the Math, washing puja vessels, serving tea, sadhu seva in the dining hall, bringing water from a tube well in Lilua for Mahapurush Maharaj's bath, and so on. So this went for a long time. On Swamiji's birthday in 1933, January 23, was the day when Mahapurush Maharaj only gave him the sannyasa vows to Jati Chaitanya at Belur Math, and gave his name Swami Ranganathananda. That day only, on the Swamiji's birthday, he took the sannyas vows. Owing to ill health, Mahapurush Maharaj could not come to the old shrine for the ceremony proper. The Guru, however, gave the sannyas mantra, the Gerua cloth, and monastic names to the new monks, 9 in all in his room, the room of Mahapurush Maharaj in the Belur Math. So it was mentioned that here that Mahapurush Maharaj had permitted Shankar to wear the Gerua cloth from 1927, just 4-5 months after joining the order. So he had been wearing Gerua clothes even as a brahmachari. Sannyas was therefore a matter of inner transformation for him. So on the Mahapurush, when he joined the order, means just after a few months, that time Mahapurush Maharaj told him that he can wear the Gerua. That time the brahmachari, before taking the vows of brahmachari vows. So that sannyas vows was only for just the inner transformation of him. Because he used to wear the Gerua for a long time ago. After sannyasa, with his guru's blessings, Maharaj went to Sargachi to pay his respect to Swami Akhandananda Maharaj, another direct disciple of Thakur Sri Ramakrishna. It was quite inexpensive to go to Sargachi those days. There is a system of weekend return railway tickets go on Friday to return on Sunday. Maharaj had a wonderful weekend there. When the time came for leaving Sargachi, for making pranams, after making pranams to Akhandanandaji Maharaj, he said, Maharaj, I want your blessing. I am working with the people, especially young people. Bless me that I become an instrument for Swamiji, for inspiring our young people with Swamiji's ideas. With your blessing, I am sure that I will get that capacity. I have not seen Swamiji, but I have met with you. The beloved, he loved you very much. At this, Akhandanandaji became very grave and placing both his palm on Maharaj's head and blessed him and said that I bless you, I bless you. The Maharaj felt a tremendous feeling of elevation within, a new power arising with him. We can see after that Maharaj also went to various places preaching the idea of Swami Vivekananda, and his books and his lectures were very much inspiration to the youth, especially to the youth. He followed the teachings of Swami Vivekananda. He also met with Swami Vijnananandaji Maharaj and Abhedanandaji Maharaj also. His brief association with Vigyan Maharaj and Kali Maharaj may be also narrated. When he was in Allahabad, that time he took the pranam from Vigyan Maharaj, and in Calcutta ashram he met Swami Abhedanandaji Maharaj, Kali Maharaj, and he also took all the blessings. So we can see this in the life, that after that he went to various places and preached the teachings of Swamiji. He became the head of Karachi Mutt from 9th August 1942. Here, apart from various philanthropic activities, Maharaj collected substantial donation and shipped over 1,250 tons of rice by a special steamer to Kolkata for the gruesome Bengal famine of 1943. That he also started that the ideology that the Ramakrishna mission always considered, that Shivogyan Jivo Seva, we can see in the life of Maharaj. Swami Madhavanandaji Maharaj was then the General Secretary of the Sangha, visited Karachi once. Sunday lectures by revered Maharaj was very popular at that time. Madhavanandaji asked a monk at the center why Shankar, as he was known to his senior as Shankar, did not invite him to hear his lecture. And Maharaj replied that you are my senior. How can I ask asks you to come. Madhavananda Ji Maharaj did attend Maharaj's lecture subsequently and commented to another sadhu. Uh, told that ঠাকুর শঙ্করের কোলে নিয়ে খেলা খেলছেন, শঙ্করকে কোলে নিয়ে খেলা খেলছেন। টেকিং Shankara on his lap, ঠাকুর is playing. এটা হচ্ছে ঠাকুরের লীলা, the amazing act by Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. That time he commented, means his lecture was so fascinating. Maharaj lecture we can see in the life of Maharaj, and he was also blessed with the teachings of all the direct disciple of means Sri Ramakrishna. After becoming the president of the order, he gave the brahmacharya ordination to 7 batches of seven batches, and sannyasa ordination to more 7 batches of sannyasi at Belur Math. The last brahmacharya ordination for 45 candidates took place on Swamiji's birthday, 1st February 2005, and the last sannyas ordination took place on Thakur's birthday on 12th March. He gave the mantra diksha to 4 people on 8th March on that same year, and this was the last batch he initiated. The concluding ceremony of 150th birth tithi and birth anniversary of Holy Mother at Belur Math from 4th to 6th January 2005 was an important event in which nearly 10,000 delegates participated. Maharaj gave a short but forceful benedictory address at the inaugural session of the function. In that address, Maharaj emphasized the need to put into practice the social level of Holy Mother's equality of vision by abolishing the untouchability and caste distinction from the Indian society. Mother used to say that Amjad and Sharat, one is thief, dakat, and another is highly state, the direct disciple of Sri Ramakrishna, manager of Ramakrishna Math, the writer of Leela Prasanga. Mother did not used to compare both of them. Sharat and Amjad both are equal. Taking that idea, Maharaj in the childhood days we can find that he used to he have abandoned in his childhood days the caste system, and he also told that he told that we should took the idea, means the thing from the mother's life. Mother was a simple woman. Means the lila was for the mother was a very simple, and he led a very simple life, and he taught us that we should not means distinguish between in the name of caste. This was the last major public function that Maharaj blessed. He suffered a partial brainstem stroke in 2001. Doctors were amazed at his speedy recovery. He recovered most of his ability to speak and could work fairly with his support. During his early part of 2005, he developed the severe problems during the last stage, and on 25th April he had some breathing trouble. At about 2:20 p.m. the doctor rushed in. They did their best to bring back to normalcy from the cardiac arrest, but failed. Maharaj attained Mahasamadhi at 3:51 p.m. He was fully alert till the end. He was 96 years, 4 months, 11 days. His last words were, "Lift me up. I want to sit up. Lift me up." Today, on the memorial lecture of Maharaj, I would like to offer my most inner pranams in the feet of Maharaj, and ask for him for all welfare, all well-being, and give prarthana, ask for means that Maharaj Bani, all can uh, relate with Maharaj Bani and follow that prayer to Maharaj's feet, Thakur Holy Trial's feet. Om Purnamada Purnamidang Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishvate Harihi Om Tatsat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Today program we will end by Sri Ramakrishna Bhakti Giti. Namaskar. পানি পানি নাম লয় চলে আল্লাহ গডি সমুষা আল্লাহ গডি সমুষা আল্লাহ গডি সমুষা কালী নাম ভেদ বলে আল্লাহ গডি সমুষা কালী নাম ভেদ বলে আল্লাহ গডি সমুষা আল্লাহ গডি সমুষা কালী নাম ভেদ বলে আল্লাহ গডি সমুষা কালী নাম ভেদ বলে এসেছে নতুন মানুষ দেখবি যদি আই চলে দেখবি যদি আই চলে এসেছে নতুন মানুষ দেখবি যদি আই চলে দিনধ্বনি মানুষে বিচার নাই জাতি কুলে দিনধ্বনি মানুষে বিচার নাই জাতি কুলে আপন আড়া পাগল পাড়া আপন আড়া পাগল পাড়া সরলে হারিলে আপন আড়া পাগল পাড়া সরলে হারিলে আপন আড়া পাগল পাড়া আপন আড়া পাগল পাড়া সরলে হারিলে এসেছে নতুন মানুষ যদি আই চলে এসেছে নতুন মানুষ দুবাহু তুলিয়ে তোরায় আইরে তোরায় আই চলে দুবাহু তুলিয়ে তাকে আইরে তোরায় আই চলে আয় আয় তোরায় আই চলে আয় আয় তোরায় আই চলে দুবাহু তুলিয়ে তাকে আইরে তোরায় আই চলে তোদের তরে কৃপা করে বসে আছি বিড়ালে তোদের তরে কৃপা করে বসে আছি বিড়ালে তোদের তরে কৃপা করে বসে আছি বিড়ালে যত্ন করে পারের করি বেঁধেছি ভাবের কোলে যত্ন করি পারের তরি বেঁধেছি ভাবের কোলে এসেছে নতুন মানুষ দেখবি যদি আই চলে এসেছে নতুন মানুষ দেখবি যদি আই চলে তার বিবেক ওই রাগ চলি বিবেক ওই রাগ চলি দুই কাঁধে সদা ঝুলে তার বিবেক ওই রাগ চলি দুই কাঁধে সদা ঝুলে এসেছে নতুন মানুষ দেখবি যদি আই চলে এসেছে নতুন মানুষ দেখবি যদি আই চলে এসেছে নতুন মানুষ দেখবি যদি আই চলে দেখবি যদি আই চলে ওম শান্তি 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 হরি ওম তৎসৎ শ্রী রামকৃষ্ণার্পণমস্তু আমাদের স্মারক বক্তৃতা আজকে এখানেই সমাপ্ত হচ্ছে।